how all of the bills are going to get paid when I'm trying to carry a baby.
We'll figure these things
Who
out.
how?
We'll
He's
figure
supposed
it
to
out.
figure it out.
But you make your own money, so don't
I
stress.
can't make it if I'm...
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Ready to Love. Talking about obviously Nyaa and dealing also with Kris. I gotta say, I'm very disappointed in Nyaa. Very disappointed. I feel like a disappointed friend because of the way she's gone about what she said. I mean, there was nothing wrong with what she said. It's the way she said it and the way she dealt with the actual issue. So let's get into that. Let's deal with that. But first, before we go any further, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. You click on that bell button for notification of uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, well, you got the minerals. You got the minerals. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. So, just dealing with the Nyaa and situation with Kris. I think what's really interesting about their relationship was that, I was actually rooting for them. I think they were a great couple. I like the fact that they were just deep chocolate, melanin on a screen. They seemed like they were enjoying themselves, doing all of that. And then all of a sudden, you get thrown into this completely different field where Naya's kissing someone else, Edwin.
The hell asleep.
Yeah, I get it. Come on.
And I said from last week, let's wait, let's watch this episode, let's see what happens, because they can cut certain things and it looks like certain things and it's not really that. But we got to see a different side of Nyaa, and I don't like it, if I'm honest with you. But I want to be really fair, and I want to really delve deeper into the core crux issue as to why we are here. So I want to first point out, I really understand Naya's position. And when I say understand, I can understand why she feels the way she does. You've gone through 4 miscarriages, and in her mind, what she said is, I need to be in the least, most stressful scenario possible.
We don't split no mortgage. Are you crazy? That's your job. I don't need to worry about how all of the bills are going to get paid when I'm trying to carry a baby.
We'll figure these things out.
How?
Because I do not want a fifth child to be miscarried. Now, as a man, I can already tell you I do not understand the complexity of the emotional turmoil that a woman is going to go through, that you've had 4 miscarriages. I cannot fathom the level of maybe potentially guilt that may come across, the level of feeling like I wish if I'd done something else, this wouldn't have happened. I cannot fathom the feeling of having a child be within yourself and then losing that child, okay? I cannot fathom it. There is no way I can even get close to understanding what she's feeling.
I've had some unfortunate situations happen as far as not having successful pregnancies, and I don't want to carry again and have to be...
But what I can do is try to understand her position, have a little empathy, okay? And so in that regard, I totally understand why she wants a provider. In her mind, she's seeing provider means less stress. I don't have to worry about money. I can stay home. I can relax, and this child will come to fruition, and I won't be in this position for a 5th time. So for that alone, I have to say, coach, understand her position, which I do. I think everyone can understand her position if you're really empathetic and understanding. I think where we can all then begin to say we don't like what Nyaa did is how you deliver, how you feel.
Mortgage? Are you crazy? That's your job.
So let's go into it a little bit and deeper and go a little bit back. We get to see Kris come with Nyaa and her friend. Her friend, by the way, I think is a wise person. Her friend's obviously asking Kris, about the situation between them two, and then she asks a question about finance.
Yikes. So what's your thought on finances?
And I think this is one of the things where I keep talking to everyone about on this channel, you might have heard me say, which is a lot of times you're not having a conversation about finance. You're telling me a preference, but you're not discussing finance in its full totality. When you hear 50-50, you get triggered. When I hear I want a man to be a provider, I'm getting triggered. Why? Because there is no nuance to the conversation. All you've heard is the term. But what do you mean? When you say 50-50, because I see it in the comment section, a lot of women say, I can't do 50-50 because obviously he's not going to do 50-50 really. I'm going to be paying the half the bills and I'm going to be in the cooking, the cleaning, looking after the children, da-da-da. See, that means you haven't had a conversation. That right there tells me you haven't had a conversation. You are assuming when someone says 50-50, that's what they mean. But I also take it that may be because of what you've experienced and seen. But it still means we have to have a conversation because you're 50-50, it's not my 50-50. Okay? And so when the complaint comes against 50-50, it's often because you feel like the man won't pull his weight at home. Fair enough. Have that conversation though. Because you can't assume. If you assume, you're going to miss it. Now let's flip it onto the man then. When Kris heard what's the financial situation like, what's finances looking like, and he said 50-50.
We split the mortgage. I would take water, cable, internet, maybe
But Nyaa wants to hear all provider. I totally get it. But men get triggered by all provider because what we're hearing is I may have to fit every single bill and I don't know if I have the financial capability to do so. And it's a lot of stress and a lot of weight to carry on a shoulder in this modern day and age. I want to be very clear. In this day and age, there's a fantasy that's going around. Like there's so many men out there that earn so much money that when you get to them, you will never pay a bill again. Listen, darlings, they are far few in between. Y'all be thinking that there are loads of them out there, but I'm telling you, let's be real. Listen, start having real conversation with real people. Stop watching TV, right? Having real conversation with real people. I'm telling you, the one that you want. I'm not talking about the ones that other people have got. I'm talking about the ones that you want. When you've gone to speak to them, have you met so many people have enough money to provide the lifestyle that you want and pay for every single bill? There are guys out there. I'm not denying that. What I'm saying to you is there's also a lot of guys who are not in that position. And probably I think they outweigh the men that actually have the money that are able to do or able to earn the kind of finance that can pay all your bills. I'm not saying it's wrong to say you want a provider that can pay all your bills. Listen to me very carefully, because this is where we're going to miss each other. It is okay to want a man to pay all the bills. You have to come to that conclusion. It's okay, all right? And I'm going to say this, that there's nothing wrong with that. So men need to get out of the place of feeling triggered. If the girl wants an all provider, back away. But I've always said this to you, if you want an all provider, be ready if he asks you to be an all homemaker. And if you're not about it, then you also can't complain, right? But if he allows you space to say, look, I make enough money, you don't have to be a homemaker. I can get a chef, I can get a maid, I can help you do those kind of things. But how many people? No, deep it, because I've been watching some of these channels. Pink pill is the opposite of red pill. I've been watching some of these channels where it's like, some women are like, yeah, I can only deal with a guy who's got enough money to pay all the bills, and forget that as well. I need a maid, I need a chef, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be stressed and tired out with doing these things. You ask me to do a whole lot. So what are you bringing to the table? But that's beside the point. The point here is that there's a scale of things, okay? Not every woman and not every man is going to hit the top end of the spectrum. Okay? So find your level. And this is where you have to start being able to start trying to actually look at your expectations and say, is this realistic? Am I being realistic? Man, them too, are you being realistic when you're saying 50-50? Can you really go to work, pay the bills, okay? She also pay the bills, and you come home, cook, clean, look after the children, you know what I'm saying? Maybe do a couple school runs in the course of the week. Can you do that? If you know you can't do that, you ain't got the energy for it, stop asking for 50-50. God damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've got to have an honest conversation on both sides. Stop polarizing it. One side to women, one side to men. Have an honest conversation. What does 50-50 look like to you? What does an all provider look like to you? Because what you may be saying may not be the term that you're using. I have an issue when this is when we're talking about communication, which is that when we're communicating, sometimes certain words are being lost in the translation because the person's receiving it in a different way. When you say all provider, the man might have an idea in his head like, all provider, you want me to pay for all your bills and everything like that? And you may be just saying, pay the mortgage. Maybe that's what you're thinking. Pay the mortgage, pay the water, that's it. but you're calling it all provider. So what do you mean? So ladies, if you're watching this, get to a point where you yourself know exactly what you mean by I want a provider. What does that entail? Okay? And is this a non-negotiable? Because in that conversation, well, I'm having a whole different conversation to the Nyaa and the Kris situation, but I'm really hearing it. So, like, is it a non-negotiable, saying that you definitely cannot negotiate to the point where you say, okay, I'm not about contribution, you know what I'm saying? Or let's say I can contribute, but in these areas, that's a different conversation. Have you noticed it's different? But then you have to have that conversation. You have to explain that. Ladies, you know what I'm saying? Man them too. Like, man them, explain this to the ladies. Listen, look, I'm not going to lie to you. When I hear all provider, I'm triggered.
We don't split no mortgage. Are you crazy? That's your job. I don't need to worry about how all of the bills are going to get paid when I'm trying to carry a baby.
We'll figure these things out.
And I'm triggered because I don't have enough money right now to do that kind of lifestyle for you where I pay all the bills. So what I would like us to do, listen, you're not my... And I'm tired of hearing this, I ain't a roommate. Shut up. Shut up. I hate that term. I hate that term. Are we roommates? What do you mean? Are we roommates? Are you partners? Or am I holding a child? I'm your partner. Do you understand? See, this is what I'm trying to say. So there's certain words. Choose your words carefully because they need to describe what you actually mean. So you want him to pay the mortgage, you want him to pay this. Be specific. And so that we know exactly what we're talking about on both sides, man them and woman. Know what you're talking about on both sides. Yeah? Let me continue. Woo! So obviously, this conversation was never had. The conversation in terms of what finances really looks like was never had. He explained, and obviously when he said, split the mortgage, you pay for this, pay. I knew it was going to be a problem. But the reaction from Nyaa showed that obviously she wasn't comfortable with him saying something that was against.
You know what I'm saying? And so I have no problem with falling back and
That's what she prefaced as what she saw as a preference for her, right? Or sorry, as what a non-negotiable was for her, right? So you saw her hand go on her shoulder, on her hip, and was like, She wasn't feeling the conversation at that point. But moments before that, when my man said, obviously, because she asked, how do you feel about church? And he said, I'm a deacon, and look how fast you were, Nyaa, to say, we could have got married already. Look at the excitement. So to go from the excitement because man's a deacon, he's in a church, to now suddenly, because he mentioned about finances and 50-50, how quickly you descended, that tells me you weren't really into him the way you said you were, because the descent was too quick, right? That's understandable. You don't like you don't like that idea of it, but the descent was so huge. A minute ago, you was on fire. Now you're here.
I grew up in the church. I am an ordained deacon.
What?
I am literally an
So we could have
ordained
gotten
deacon.
married the first day.
Like,
You could have married us.
Went through the whole.
And so, not only that, then obviously the tone that she took and Kris is somebody who picked up on the energy changing, right? And this is something that we have to all pay attention to. That our energy, when it changes, people can pick up on it. If they're aware, they're in tune, they will pick up on it. Kris picked up on it and was like, "Let me get out of it." Let me get out of it. And actually, Nyaa was actually saying, "Where you going?" She was like, "What do you mean you're going now?" Like, she didn't realize the thing was over. He was in his mind saying, "Yo, this is mad. I need to get out of here. The energy's changed. No, I need to get out of here." Right? And so when she begins to discuss with her friend, watch how the friend tried to speak to Nyaa. This is Nya's got it in her head. She's got an image in her head, but couldn't slow it down. Nyaa goes, about the mortgage, whatever. No, that's your job. Hold on, sis.
Baby.
We'll figure these things out.
How?
We'll
He's
figure
supposed
them
to
out.
figure it out.
But you make your own money, so don't stress.
I can't make it if I don't.
I understand the trauma. I understand right now you were triggered. I understand that right now it's an emotional event right now because you're thinking ahead. You're thinking about the future. You're thinking about having a child and the fact that there will be no stability in that area, meaning that potentially you could be stressed and the child could be lost. Hold on. I feel you, sis. I feel you. But how you said it is inconsiderate and actually hurting other people. I hope when you watch this back, Nyaa, that you see that was wrong. You know, it was abysmal behavior. You know, that's your job. And this is the beginning of the descent of madness, of the way you're talking about someone who you clearly said, we've been kissing, da 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 da. It was cute then. Now we're getting into serious things. Look at the way you're treating somebody, and how you're treating them now when you don't like them or you don't seem to fit. They don't fit your note anymore. It's quintessential to how you treat your partner when things ain't going right. If any man is seeing this, let me be very frank with you. If any man is seeing this and you see that behavior from a woman, you should know when you marry her, when things are not going right, that's how she's going to behave. And this is why I'm a big on person about nipping stuff in the bud. Like, as soon as I see the behavior is out of bounds, I'm going to tell you straight now. I'm not waiting for you to get married. I'm telling you now. That is out of bounds. Check yourself, because that's not going to run. Yeah? Because you're going to carry that energy into marriage. If you're doing it now where somebody who you thought, okay, I like them and I don't like them anymore, and the energy you're bringing now, what happens in a marriage when there's no escape and we get to a point, and listen, marriage gets to a point where sometimes you look at a person like, hey, I was really sleeping with you. What's going on, right? People get to that stage, and at that point, is that how you're going to turn? That's a scary place to be, bro. That's an unsafe, emotional place to be in. That's not Switzerland, okay? That's Baghdad, yeah? That is Baghdad. You understand? That is somewhere that's war zone, okay? And so her speed of quickness of how she then dropped Kris. And it's funny because obviously before then, her friend actually speaks to her and says, hold on a minute, like, yo, like, pause, Nyaa, you're going ahead of yourself.
We'll figure these things out.
How?
We'll
He's
figure
supposed
it
to
out.
figure it out.
But you make your own money, so don't stress.
I can't make it if I'm,
But don't stress on that though right now.
I have to.
You're moving too fast, cuz. You're moving too fast.
Slow it down. And Nya's like, no, this is what it is.